You can't be helped.
No!
Netflix's new sci-fi drama Spaceman departs from the usual cliches of the genre and brings you a deeply engaging tale about existential crisis, emotions, and solitude. Starring Adam Sandler as the astronaut protagonist Jakob, the narrative covers his long journey at the edge of the solar system, where he is sent to explore the mysterious, colorful, smoky cloud system called the Chopra Cloud that can be observed from the Earth as well. Here, he encounters a friendly and super intelligent spider-like alien creature, and the distressed astronaut finds a perfect companion in this hour of crisis as he struggles with his personal issues and loneliness. In this video, we will look into the detailed origins and anatomy of this mysterious and unique alien entity, which he names Hanus. Be warned about a few spoilers from the movie along the way. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
The beginning approaches.
A brief context. When in the movie does Hanus interact with Jakob? Let us begin with a brief context so that you can understand the alien creature and its interactions with Jakob better. The movie starts off with an astronaut named Jakob Procházka from the Czech Republic who is on a long mission to investigate the Chopra Clouds. It is a commercial mission backed by various sponsors, and we learn later in the movie that even the Koreans are on the same mission, just running behind the Czechs. Although Jakob is efficiently handling the mission, 6 months in, he is also struggling with loneliness and unresolved feelings. His strained relationship with his wife Lenka doesn't help his cause, and after days of no communication between them, he encounters a spider-like alien creature inside his space pod all of a sudden. He is initially puzzled and shocked, but his fears soon turn into curiosity when the creature interacts with him with utmost friendliness. Thus begins the intriguing journey of the two, where they constantly interact and the creature unwraps more and more of the agonizing issues that have been bothering Jakob.
You are ready, skinny human. Yeah.
Where did the creature come from? Exploring its origins, when Jakob asks the creature about its home, it reveals that its home has been lost after the Gorempeds came from their species. It managed to flee from the planet and traveled through black holes and galaxies in time, looking for some peace. The search ended after it came across this human astronaut, and the creature was intrigued by Jakob's solitude and how he dealt with his feelings of loneliness. It's probably a mix of curiosity and empathy that made the creature stay back and bond with a human. Later in the movie, the creature reveals more about its species and its conditions. It confesses about not being entirely honest earlier and tells Jakob about how it fled a little too late from its world. It was already infected by the time it got away, and the final parts of the movie show the creature in pain and visibly uncomfortable because of its condition. The Gorempeds are some kind of virus that infected the alien species, and it slowly took over the body of the spider-like creature. In the climatic moments of the movie, it reveals that eventually the Gorempeds would consume its flesh from the inside, but Hanus never shows any sign of fear or regret regarding its evident death. Finally, maggot-like creatures emerge from its skin, and thousands of them rip apart the alien creature as it dissolves into nothingness.
I was not entirely honest with you before.
What does the alien creature look like? We've already spoken about how the alien creature in Spaceman is spider-like in appearance. That is precisely the best way to describe Hanus. It looks like a giant, nearly human-sized black spider. It has 2 giant eyes and 4 tiny ones above it. It has 8 spider-like legs, which enable it to cling to surfaces or climb up and down walls. It has 2 mini tentacles below its face, and these tentacles are capable of grabbing onto things when required. Although the creature lacks opposable thumbs, it can grab a spoon quite comfortably, which can be seen when it's sampled a bit of the chocolate spread given to it. The creature looks furry, and unless spiders creep you out big time, it might just seem adorable with its glowing bright eyes and calm, husky voice.
Hanus! Hold on, I'm coming!
How did the creature get its name Hanus? After their initial interaction, when Jakob is somewhat comfortable with the creature's presence around him, he asks about how to address the creature. The alien being replies that it has no name, but suggests Jakob to name it if it would be convenient for their future interactions. This is when Jakob names it Hanus, after a man who built the astronomical clock in Prague, which could measure the movements of stars and planets. Hanus was a visionary, but the king was jealous of him for stealing the limelight and poked his eyes out. Jakob probably names the creature Hanus because he admires the wisdom and developed intelligence of the creature and considers it to be somewhat visionary, maybe with a feeble hope that it can fix his mental agony as well. Also, as Jakob reveals that he is not too sure if Hanus really existed in real life or was just a fictional story, and it points to the fact that he is still not completely sure about whether the alien creature is really present in his space pod or is it just his mind playing tricks on him. does Hanus have telepathic powers? It may not have been directly mentioned in the narrative, but the alien creature shows clear signs of telepathic powers during its interactions with a human astronaut. Initially, Hanus could sense the turmoil and pain inside Jakob and came close to him to explore more about human emotions and feelings. Slowly, it is shown how Hanus can harness visions that are a part of Jakob's memory. Even if he hasn't witnessed something and only knows about it through word of mouth, Hanus is capable of looking into those corners of his mind. There have been multiple instances where the alien creature could almost read his mind and his thoughts, and the only thing it took time to understand were the complexities of human emotions, and for this reason, it took Hanus a lot of time to figure out that the fault was within Jakob for his mental state, and his telepathic abilities also meant that the creature knew when Jakob was willing to make amends for his mistakes. Can Hanus understand human emotions? How similar to humans are the characteristics of this creature? The uniqueness of Hanus, the alien creature, lies in its similarities with humans. In spite of having no contact with a human species whatsoever, it seems to quickly grasp human sentiments and equate them with his insane wisdom. Hanus learned the human language probably because of its telepathic powers, and it remained inquisitive about certain aspects of human emotions that are illogical. It shows enough emotional intelligence to understand Jakob's repressed feelings or his love for his wife. It also has the emotional maturity to deal with its certain death because of the virus infection. The creature seems to be in tune with the universe, and it has understood the way the universe works, which is the secret behind its calm and composed outlook. It might not experience human emotions itself, but doesn't struggle to understand the complexities of these emotions. After being reunited with Jakob following its departure, it shows a sign of emotions when they embrace in a heartwarming moment, although the creature mentions earlier that it is averse to physical touch. That being said, on a lighter note, it has a sense of taste, which is not too different from humans, and this can be said from the fact that it analyzed the taste of the chocolate spread very similar to what a human would. The arachnid suggested that it tasted rich and creamy, and even compared it to something called stoma larvae back home.
Studied your history, learned your languages yet.
How long has the alien creature lived? The mysterious colorful clouds and the chopper particles there are from the origin of the universe. And when the creature suggests that it once caught a grain of these clouds, the human wonders how long it has been around. He even inquires about the creature's lifespan, and it answers back philosophically about how everything that begins must end. It doesn't offer a straight answer, but we can assume that it has been around for millions of years, and the dreaded infection is what caused its untimely end in the climatic moments of the movie. Hanus does reveal that it comes from a mortal species, but without a virus infection, it probably could have survived many more years, even its unusually long lifespan.
Thank you, Hanus, for everything.
How does Hanus help Jakob in resolving his internal conflicts? When the mind is severely troubled and conflicted, often the best thing one can get is a clear, straightforward perspective from someone genuine. The alien creature provides Jakob with precisely that, and their conversations throughout the movie highlights how it helps Jakob find himself with intriguing questions and accurate analysis of his mental state. For instance, Hanus is quick to identify Jakob's issues with his wife and how he longs for her without being able to come to terms with his emotions. The creature asks some soul-searching questions, such as why Jakob did not acknowledge his feelings for his wife when she was hopelessly begging for his time and attention. It wonders why humans appreciate things only when they are gone. The creature also does some introspection on the relationship between Jakob and his wife. It finds out through Jakob's memories that he hadn't been there when she had a miscarriage. Now that she is pregnant again, Jakob left for a mission of almost a year in outer space, once again depriving her of her partner's company when she needs it the most. He had always been absent and focused on his greater ambitions and goals. Hanus also infers that this insatiable ambition is simply Jakob's coping mechanism to deal with his father's actions. His father has been killed from being a spy for the Communist Party in this country, and Jakob subconsciously believed that his glory would somehow shadow the actions of his late father. Hanus points out that guilt is a strange emotion to have, and it also reveals that their species does not experience any form of guilt because the universe always pans out exactly how it should have. In a way, Hanus deals with Jakob just like an experienced therapist, acknowledging and uncovering his delicate thoughts and feelings that he was so afraid to face. The alien creature is also brutally honest about his observations, such as the time when it calls out Jakob's selfish nature of not being there for his wife and showering her with love when it suited him. It comes to the conclusion that Jakob's loneliness is self-inflicted, and it states that its interest in the human astronaut has expired because he cannot be helped. It leaves his company, which serves as a strong wake-up call for Jakob to reflect on his mistakes. He repents not being attentive and loving enough, and it is the beginning of his realization that he needs to make a change in his life. Towards the end of the movie, it becomes clear that these interactions actually helped Jakub in coming to terms with his real emotions, and he finally owns up to his mess-ups and takes actions to rectify them.
Let me show you.
How powerful is the alien creature? From the first time we see Hanus, the creature never seems to be a threat. Its appearance might be somewhat intimidating, but it repeatedly assures Jakub about its non-lethal intentions. It comes off as an advanced species that has an incredibly developed mind, but it has no plans of showing any animosity towards its human companion in space. However, there is one instance that gives us a slight hint regarding the powers of Hanus. When it comes to the conclusion that Jakub cannot be helped and he is solely responsible for his miserable solitude, it reveals its intention to leave. Jakub panics and tries to stop the creature from leaving, and this is when Hanus pins him against the walls on the space pod, warning him to never touch him again. Jakub is a reasonably well-built man of average human strength, and he seems helpless during this brief moment of aggression from the creature. This suggests that the alien creature actually possesses immense physical strength, and it could do some serious damage to a puny human life if it wanted to.
Think about what you learned a little bit late.
Can the alien creature reproduce? Well, it is established pretty clear in the movie that the creature is the last of its kind and a deadly virus has wiped out the entire race. Even Hanus, as the last surviving member, is nearing its end, so clearly there is no chance of the alien creature reproducing and furthering its species. However, given the fact that the species populated an entire planet and existed for an unspecified but insane period of time, it is quite obvious that they were capable of reproducing. It can also be inferred from how Hanus understands the concept of mating and can relate with human reproduction, understanding that Jakub's wife is pregnant with her offspring.
Maybe you could just talk to me.
What do you want to talk about?
Is the creature simply a manifestation of Jakub's psyche? Here comes the million-dollar question that will come to your mind after you finish watching the movie. A large part of the narrative focuses on interactions between Jakub and the creature, but is the alien creature even real in the first place? This is a genuine concern because even before the creature first appears, it has been suggested that Jakub is not in the best mental space. He has trouble sleeping, is worried about not being able to communicate with his wife, and most importantly, solitude is slowly getting on his nerves. It is not entirely impossible that someone in such a vulnerable state develops mild schizophrenic tendencies and imagines a friendly companion in his subconscious to keep himself stable. You have to remember that the spider-like alien creature does appear at a critical juncture in his lonely exploration in space. Also, the moment Jakub resolves his internal conflict, Hanus departs from the scene, which does point to the possibility of a mild psychological representation of the distressed astronaut through his visions. Nobody apart from Jakub ever acknowledges the creature, not his constant human support person Peter, nor the rescuers who find him later. This aspect is purposely left open-ended for interpretation of the viewer, and while the alien creature may or may not be imaginary, there is no denying the fact that it positively impacted Jakub, who is seen equipped with positive self-awareness by the end of the movie.
Your efforts with the decontaminant were heroic.
What exactly is the Chopra Cloud, and what does Hanus say about its cosmic presence? For humans, the Chopra Cloud system remained a mystery, and they could decipher no more than the colorful, unexplained presence beyond Jupiter. However, Hanus seems to offer some crucial insights about the cloud system in the movie. It reveals that the Chopra Cloud has been around since the beginning of the universe. What looks like purple dust particles are actually mere physical representations of the energy that once brought about the existence of the universe. When Jakub tries to collect samples of these mystical pink particles, he fails despite all his efforts. Even when he confines a particle inside a container, the particle slips out as though it has no physical presence. As Hanus explains towards the end of the movie, the Chopra particles in the entire cloud system are made up of numerous vibrations and moments from the beginning of time till the end. It contains fragments of Jakub's past as well as his future, and it is more of a conscious part of the universe that preserves the memories across time and space. It almost seems like magical powers that blur the line between science and fantasy in the movie. During his brief stay inside the cloud system, Jakub could reveal his earliest memories with his wife and also takes a peek into the future. Of course, the narrative purposely refrains from offering too much explanation on this cosmic event, and the knowledge of Hanus is all we have to unravel its mysteries.
Not here, where you can see everything.
Marvel's verdict. Spaceman offers a unique premise alongside a more unique alien creature. Hollywood has delivered far too many alien-featuring sci-fi flicks over the decades, and not every one of them is worth remembering. Spaceman, however, will fall under the memorable category simply because of its captivating storytelling. The premise is hauntingly beautiful, centered around a protagonist who is struggling with his personal life and feeling the pangs of solitude. The alien creature offers him momentary comfort and companionship, and the bond that develops between the two is truly unique. The creature almost behaves like a friendly guide as it tries to make sense of how humans function and why. Both these characters are caught up in their own struggles, and the narrative explores more and more of their issues as things proceed. Overall, the movie is a must-watch for sci-fi enthusiasts because a compelling acting performance from Adam Sandler and a philosophically rich and entertaining storyline will bring some serious fodder for your thinking mind. And if not for anything else, watch out for the remarkable alien creature and its wisdom. Do let us know in the comments below about your thoughts on the movie, and don't forget to tell us about your views on the nature of this spider-like, super intelligent alien creature. As always, if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
I prefer you do not place your hands on me.